If you want to go fast, you go alone. And if you want to go far, you go together. At least that is a proverb that we are all trying to live our lives now. In the beginning of my career, I wanted to go fast. I wanted to move shit and break walls and all of the other startup type culture. And quite honestly, it almost destroyed my career. And this video might be a little difficult for me, because in this video, I'm going to share my most painful lesson that I've had to learn as a software engineer with over a decade of experience. And this lesson is a crucial one that cost me all of my colleagues' trust and almost derailed our entire project. And I think it's more important than ever to talk about this, because the world of AI today and all of the temptations to be the code hero that we have, I think it can be really overwhelming. So let's dive in. About 5 years ago, so about halfway through my career, there was a weekend that I today will never forget, and ultimately has changed the way that I lead, the way that I carry myself, and the way that I act and participate as a team member or part of an organization. And for this story, I'm going to use a fake name. And if you are that person watching this video and you get to this point and you say, yes, that was me, I remember that situation, just know that I'm sorry. It is something that I realized in my life that I f***ed up, and I've learned from it and I've grown from it. And I know that won't fix the past, but I am sorry. And I hope to share this type of information so that other leaders or other engineers that were in my position don't make the same mistake. You see, it was a normal work week. We had a deadline approaching in the coming weeks, but everything was going fine. And there was another developer, let's call him Alex. And Alex was working on a rather complex task, and I personally was not sure if they could get the work done themselves. And instead of doing the right thing and offering them help and teaching and guiding them through the effort, I said, no problem, we'll get it on Monday. It's Friday afternoon, don't worry about it. But secretly, I think I was just planning my next move. You see, Saturday morning rolled around, got my Dunkin', got my Starbucks, whatever it was, you have to caffeinate. And I came into the office, finished up the last little bit of my work that I was falling behind on, and decided, well, it's for the best of the team if I completely rewrite their module and finish all of their work without even letting them know. So one long coding marathon, 18 hours later, I had finished the solution, merged it back to develop, promoted it up the baseline for Q&A, and went home thinking I did the right thing. I bettered our team. I pushed us forward. I am the code hero. I am the person who is the weekend warrior. And I was wrong. You see, because Monday came around, I got into daily stand-up and I said, hey, I fixed that problem. We don't need to merge or branch in anymore because I've already done it. I did it. I tested it. I pushed it to QA. And the look on their face was one that I'll never forget. You see, I wasn't met with gratitude. I was met with shock and anger and honestly, probably humiliation, because not only did I completely stampede over their efforts and do all of the work without being a good teammate and telling them I'm helping you out or anything. I not only did that, but I also announced it in stand-up as if I was trying to go for some ego trip, as if I was the fucking hero. And all I did was make an ass out of me and lose my colleagues' trust. And I can swear up and down, and to this day, I had the best intentions. I wanted to push the team forward, and I had the time. I was the developer willing to go in on the weekend. But what I quickly learned is that this is not how you carry yourselves in a software team. I do think that if you want to go fast, you go alone in some industries probably works. And for a very, very long time, I used to believe in this as a software engineer. If I wanted to do it faster, I would code the solution myself. I wouldn't bring along peers. I wouldn't lift up others. And what I'm realizing now that I've gone through those trials and tribulations, is that the only way forward, not even the fast way, the only way forward is to bring others along with you. Because look at the reality of my situation. My heroic weekend where I thought I was saving the project and getting us to the deadline coming up only caused severe problems, both in morale and the actual staff that we had to work on these solutions. Because Alex in this scenario didn't want to work on my team anymore. He didn't want to be a part of the things that I was a part of. But because I had a highly caffeinated ego trip over a weekend, I pushed out a promising developer. And on top of that, my solution wasn't much better. I had the same subtle bugs and problems with what I pushed out, and I didn't take the time to do the real vetting that I think the solution deserved. And even worse, besides that one developer wanting to leave the team, it had an impact on the rest of the team too. Because now other developers were afraid to share their progress. They didn't want to say it in fear that I was going to swoop in to try to save the day again. They didn't love that I went and worked behind their backs without even letting them know. And I think the most painful part of this lesson is something I said earlier. I had the greatest, best intentions. I wanted to help push the team forward. I wanted to be that extra hard worker. And as I grow and mature as a developer, as a leader, and as a person, the hardest part was realizing that my help wasn't help. And instead, it was just about feeding my own ego. And maybe in a good way long term, but this humbling experience fundamentally changed how I lead teams, how I carry myself, and how I act as part of an organization. I learned that the first question should be, how can I help you succeed in this, instead of just taking over? I started viewing code as a team asset rather than individual achievements. I actually began investing time in pair programming and knowledge sharing and writing better documentation, even if I felt internally that it was slowing me down. And I think most importantly, I realized that empowering the other team members to be more effective had a bigger net positive than me just trying to move faster individually. You see, being part of a team is ensuring that everybody gets across the finish line together. It doesn't matter if one or two people cross the finish line, if the rest are falling behind and falling down and failing. Software engineering is a team sport, and I think it took me some really hard hit lessons to learn that. So one of the reasons why I think 2025 is going to be so magical in the years coming forward is that AI enables us to go fast and together. We can use things like Copilot to increase our efficiency. We can use things like collaborative LLMs to work through designs and ideate through problems together. I think because of the speed and efficiencies that these tools are providing us, it is going to allow us to have more face-to-face time. And in fact, I think that's going to be a critical piece of your career growth this year and going forward. Spend more time with your peers. Work more together in collaborative pair programming and knowledge sharing sessions. Use AI to your advantage. And if knowing what I know now, if I had the opportunity to do it differently back on the weekend where I just stampeded over Alex and all of the value and effort he was bringing to the team, I would. And I would do that by asking, how can I help succeed? Do you even want my help? Can I provide any resources? Can we work on this together? Can we hang out with AI on a weekend with some coffees? Hell, can I buy you lunch? Let's work through this together, because this is a team sport. And if I'm feeling like I could pick up the slack a little bit, I'm going to do that, but in a much more appropriate manner. And I think that painful Monday and that shock on Alex's face has taught me that sustainable speed is the real key to running a software engineering team. And ultimately, that engineering is about lifting others up and bringing everyone to the finish line and not just rushing alone. And now I am a firm believer that in today's AI-powered world, your value as an engineer isn't your heroic weekend warrior shit or how fast you can type. It's in your ability to collaborate and communicate and create a shared understanding. So I want to know, what shitty moments have you gone through that has fundamentally changed the way you view teamwork and being a member of a software engineering team? If you have anything that you're willing to share, it is a brave thing to do, and I really appreciate you, and I look forward to hearing more from you all. So drop a comment down below. Let me know. Would love to hash them out with you. And with that, I will see you all next week. Peace.